What if I told you that the reason most people will walk through 2025 frustrated, overworked, and financially stuck has nothing to do with the economy, politics, or their intelligence, but everything to do with one invisible power they have ignored their entire lives? And what if I told you that this power, once activated, could make the next 12 months not only the most abundant you've ever experienced, but also the most peaceful, the most joyful, the most free? But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know in the comments where in the world you're watching from today. I'm always fascinated to see this community forming across the globe. And if you stay with me until the end, you'll have a tool, a single technique that you can use immediately, not in weeks, not in months, but today, to redirect the flow of your entire year. Right now, millions of people are stepping into 2025 with the same mindset they carried through last year. They've made resolutions, written new goals, promised themselves they'll finally save more money, get out of debt, or build that dream business. But here's the uncomfortable truth: resolutions don't change reality. Hustle doesn't change reality. Even hope doesn't change reality. What changes reality is alignment. And alignment begins with the invisible power I'm about to show you. Have you ever noticed how some people walk into a new year with a sense of lightness, of certainty, and almost immediately opportunities start showing up for them? They get offers, windfalls, breakthroughs, while others, equally hardworking, equally intelligent, struggle endlessly, feeling like every door is shut. Have you ever wondered why? The answer is hidden in the principle Geneviève Behrend spent her life teaching. Your imagination, guided by faith, is not a toy. It is not a daydream. It is power. It is the mold that shapes your year before the year has even unfolded. Most people stumble into a new year reactive. They watch the news, they wait for the job, they hope for a raise, they cross their fingers for good luck. But the masters of life, the rare ones who turn years into breakthroughs, know the truth. You don't wait for the year to shape you. You shape the year. You imprint it with a vision so strong, a word so clear, a picture so alive, that reality has no choice but to obey. This is the invisible power technique. And if you learn to use it, 2025 will not be a repeat of 2024. It will not be 12 more months of struggle. It will be the year you finally step into alignment with the law that governs abundance, freedom, and flow. Now let me ask you something personal. How are you entering 2025? With excitement, with fear, with hesitation? Be honest with yourself, because your dominant feeling as you step into a year is the seed of what that year will become. If you carry dread, the year will mirror dread. If you carry doubt, the year will mirror doubt. But if you carry conviction, if you carry the invisible power of a mental picture aligned with abundance, then the year must mirror abundance. Geneviève Behrend used to say, "Your mental image is the prophecy of your future." Think about that. The picture you hold in your mind today is already building the months ahead. So ask yourself, what picture are you carrying into 2025? A picture of bills piling up? A picture of long hours and little reward? Or a picture of supply flowing, doors opening, opportunities arriving at just the right time? This is where most people fail. They step into January with vague wishes but no clear picture. They speak about goals but don't command them with words of power. And so the year drifts, repeating the old cycles. They say maybe next year will be different, but it never is. Not because life is cruel, but because law is precise. You can only experience what you picture, speak, and believe with consistency. So here's what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to walk you through the invisible power technique step by step. By the end of this message, you'll have a mental picture so strong that 2025 will begin to bend around it. You'll know the words to speak that seal it into law, and you'll know how to return to it daily so that the picture becomes stronger than any doubt, any fear, any temporary setback. But first, I want you to see the mistake you've been making. Have you ever tried to force your way into abundance by sheer effort, working harder, cutting expenses, chasing opportunity after opportunity, only to find yourself exhausted and still short? That's because you were trying to fight the visible world while ignoring the invisible cause. Your finances, your relationships, your career, they're shadows. The true substance is within. Change the inner picture, and the outer must follow. This is not philosophy, this is law. The law of mind, the law of assumption, the law of circulation, they all begin with one thing: your word and your image. So let's begin practicing. Right now, close your eyes. Breathe slowly. Imagine it's December 31st, 2025. The year has ended. But this time, you are smiling. You are free. You are abundant. Your bank account is full. Your debts are dissolved. Your opportunities have multiplied. You feel light. You feel grateful. You feel powerful. See it. Feel it. Step into that December picture now. This is the invisible power technique. You are creating your year before it happens. You are no longer drifting, no longer hoping, no longer waiting. You are commanding, you are declaring, and when you speak this vision aloud, when you bless it with words of faith, you release the decree that the law must obey. Now repeat softly: I command 2025 to reveal my abundance. I picture it, I accept it, I am it. Hold that, feel it, because this is how the year changes, not by accident, not by luck, but by invisible power. Here's the shocking truth. Most people have already decided, without realizing it, how their 2025 will unfold. They've decided by default, by carrying forward the same fears, the same doubts, the same pictures of lack that ruled their minds last year. And unless they interrupt that cycle, this year will only be a replay of the past. Different dates, same story. But not for you. You are here because something in you knows there must be more. You didn't stumble on this video by chance. The invisible power has already begun guiding you to the truth you're ready to hear. The year doesn't shape you. You shape the year. Think of it this way. Your mind is a projector, and your life is the screen. Whatever film is loaded into the projector is exactly what appears on the screen. If you carry a reel of worry, fear, and failure, you'll see that movie play out over and over. If you carry a reel of abundance, freedom, and joy, you'll see that instead. The screen doesn't choose, the projector does, and you are the projector. Geneviève Behrend taught that the unseen is always more powerful than the seen. What you imagine with conviction becomes a mold that life must fill. The invisible power technique is nothing mystical. It's the deliberate act of choosing the real, loading it into your subconscious, and playing it until the outer world has no choice but to conform. So let's talk about how to practice this daily in 2025. Don't just think, I want more money or I want to feel free. That's too vague. Your subconscious doesn't respond to foggy wishes. It responds to vivid, repeated pictures. So close your eyes and imagine something specific. See yourself paying off that debt completely. See yourself opening your bank account and finding a balance that makes you smile. See yourself receiving that opportunity, that raise, that unexpected check. The clearer the picture, the faster the law responds. Step 2, speak over your picture. The imagination is the architect, but the word is the builder. Every time you declare, you pour substance into your picture. Say, this year I am abundantly supplied. Say, every door I need opens in 2025. Say, money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. Speak it when you wake. Speak it before you sleep. Speak it before every important action. This isn't repetition for repetition's sake. It is law. The spoken word impresses the picture deeper into your subconscious. Step 3, return to your picture when doubt arises. You will be tested. Circumstances will try to pull you back into old fear. A bill will appear, an unexpected problem, a delay. In those moments, most people crumble. They say, see, it doesn't work. But you will not. You will remember, appearances are shadows. They are old pictures playing themselves out. So instead of panicking, you will return to your vision. You'll close your eyes, see your December 31st picture of abundance, and speak again. This is my truth. The law cannot fail. I remain aligned. Now, maybe you're wondering, does this really work? Let me tell you a story. A man once came to Geneviève Behrend desperate. He was drowning in debt. He couldn't see a way out. She asked him one question. What picture are you holding? He admitted his mind was filled with images of creditors, of unpaid bills, of fear. She told him to replace those pictures immediately with a vision of himself debt-free, smiling, relieved, at peace. And she taught him to speak over it daily. Every obligation is met. I am free. I am supplied. At first, he resisted. It felt like a lie, but he persisted. Day after day, he pictured himself free. He spoke it aloud. And within months, opportunities arrived, unexpected contracts, forgotten refunds, even a wealthy acquaintance offering to help. His debt dissolved, not because of luck, but because the law had to fulfill the new picture. This is why your practice in 2025 must be consistent. One vivid picture, one faithful word, one steady return every time doubt arises. That is the invisible power technique. Let's try it now together. Close your eyes. Imagine December 2025. Picture yourself smiling at your bank account. Picture yourself paying bills easily, joyfully. Picture yourself giving gifts, helping others, free of fear. Hold it clearly. Now speak. This is my year of supply. I am abundantly provided for. Every dollar I need flows to me. 2025 is my breakthrough. Do you feel the difference? That shift in your body, that lightness, that spark, that is alignment. That is the invisible power in motion. But let me warn you, inconsistency kills manifestation. Many people get excited in January. They visualize, they affirm, they speak. But by February, when life gets busy, they forget. And by March, they're back in old patterns. That's why nothing changes. If you want 2025 to be different, you must be different. This practice must become as natural as brushing your teeth, as consistent as eating. So here's your assignment. For the next 7 days, begin and end your day with the December 2025 vision. In the morning, see it, speak it, feel it. At night before sleep, repeat it again. That's it. Just 7 days. And you will notice shifts, small at first, then larger. Ideas will come, calls will arrive, opportunities will appear, because the law cannot ignore a consistent, unwavering vision. Remember, you are not waiting on 2025. 2025 is waiting on you. Now, let's face the truth about why so many people fail when trying to change their lives, even after learning principles like these. It isn't because the law doesn't work. It isn't because they're unlucky. It isn't because they don't deserve abundance. The real reason is simple: fear and contradiction. Most people live in a constant cycle of mixed signals. In the morning, they picture abundance. They may even say affirmations like, I am wealthy, I am free. But by noon, they complain about bills. By evening, they tell a friend, money is so hard to come by. And by the time they lay down to sleep, their mind is filled with images of struggle and lack. Do you see the problem? The subconscious receives a scrambled signal. It doesn't know what to build. It doesn't know what to obey. Geneviève Behrend made it clear: hold one picture and persist. That is the entire secret. Not 10 pictures, not 50 affirmations, not thousands of desperate thoughts, just one picture held faithfully. The law doesn't require volume, it requires consistency. Think of planting a seed. If you plant a seed and dig it up every day to see if it's growing, it will never grow. But if you plant it and water it daily, trusting the process, eventually the seed breaks through the soil. Your vision for 2025 is that seed. If you keep changing it, doubting it, contradicting it, it cannot grow. But if you persist with one steady picture, your year must unfold to match it. So let's address fear. Fear is the greatest enemy of abundance. It doesn't matter how vivid your vision is. If you allow fear to dominate, you cancel the picture. Fear is imagination misused. It is picturing what you don't want. And because imagination is power, fear creates as surely as faith does. When you lie awake at night imagining bills you can't pay, opportunities you might lose, disasters that could happen, you are rehearsing poverty. You are building the very reality you fear. That's why the invisible power technique demands discipline. You must refuse to picture lack. You must refuse to rehearse fear. And you must replace every negative thought with a picture of abundance. This is the law of substitution. The mind cannot hold two pictures at once. The moment a thought of lack arises, substitute it immediately with your December 2025 vision. Don't argue with fear. Don't fight it. Just replace it. If you catch yourself thinking, what if I fail? Immediately see yourself succeeding. If you think, what if money doesn't come? Immediately picture your account full. Substitution is the key. You don't need to win against fear. You only need to replace it with truth. This is what separates those who manifest quickly from those who struggle for years. The successful ones don't allow fear to linger. They notice it, substitute it, and return to their vision. And they repeat this as often as necessary until their subconscious accepts the new picture as reality. Now let's practice together. Close your eyes. Imagine a fearful thought. Maybe it's a bill due. Maybe it's the idea of being stuck another year. See that thought for a moment. Now replace it. See the opposite. See the bill paid easily, joyfully. See yourself free, smiling, abundant. Breathe into that picture. Feel the shift. Do you notice how quickly fear dissolves when replaced by vision? That is the law of substitution. Geneviève Behrend lived this law. She once said that no circumstance, no obstacle, no outer condition could stand against a picture held faithfully in the mind, and her own life proved it. She wanted to study with the great Thomas Troward, but she had no money. Instead of rehearsing her lack, she pictured herself as his student, felt it as real, spoke it daily. Within weeks, the money arrived in unexpected ways, and she traveled to England to study with him. That's the power of substitution, choosing vision over fear until vision wins. So here's your practice for 2025. Each time fear arises, pause and replace it. If you worry about money, say, I am abundantly supplied. If you fear delay, say, everything I need arrives on time. If you fear rejection, say, every door I need opens easily. Speak it, see it, feel it, and don't stop until peace returns. Remember, fear is not your truth. Fear is only a misuse of imagination, and you are not a victim of imagination. You are its master. Let me tell you another story. A woman I knew always feared losing her job. Every day, she imagined herself being called into the office, handed a notice, sent away. She rehearsed this picture for months, and eventually it happened. She lost her job exactly as she had pictured. But later, when she learned about this technique, she changed. Instead of picturing loss, she pictured promotion. She pictured her boss congratulating her, handing her more responsibility, giving her a raise. Within weeks, that exact scene played out. Do you see the pattern? She was always creating. But when she substituted fear with faith, her creation changed. This is the responsibility you carry in 2025. You are always creating. The only question is, what are you creating? Are you creating lack by rehearsing fear, or are you creating abundance by rehearsing vision? Let's anchor this now with affirmations. Repeat after me. I refuse to picture lack, I choose abundance. Fear is not my truth, abundance is my truth. Every fearful thought is replaced by my vision of 2025. My picture is stronger than doubt, stronger than fear, stronger than appearances. I hold my picture faithfully, and the law fulfills it without fail. Say these until they feel natural. Say them until they sink deep. Say them until your subconscious believes them more than the old fear. Because once your subconscious accepts them, your year cannot help but transform. Now imagine yourself in March 2025. A challenge appears. Fear tries to rise. But instead of collapsing, you close your eyes. You see your December picture of abundance. You speak your decree. You feel peace return. You act with confidence. And the challenge dissolves. This is the life you are creating. Not a life without obstacles, but a life where obstacles no longer control you. This is what makes 2025 different. Not luck, not chance, but your decision to master fear, to substitute lack with vision, to persist until the law bends reality in your favor. Now that you understand how to picture your year and how to replace fear with vision, let's go deeper. Because 2025 is not just about holding a picture in the quiet moments of meditation. It's about carrying that picture into every action you take, every dollar you spend, every word you speak. Here's the truth most people miss. Money itself is spiritual energy in circulation. It was never meant to sit stagnant. It was never meant to be feared or hoarded. Money expands when it moves, and it multiplies when it flows through the vibration of faith and joy. That means every time you spend money this year, you have a choice. You can release it with fear, telling the universe, this is loss. Or you can release it with faith, telling the universe, this is multiplication. Geneviève Behrend understood this principle deeply. She taught that no transaction is neutral. Every purchase, every bill, every gift carries the vibration you give it. If you send money out with dread, it comes back heavy. If you send it out with joy, it returns multiplied. This is the law of circulation, and it is as certain as gravity. So imagine this. You receive a bill in 2025. Most people groan. They think, there goes my money. But you will not. You will say, I bless this payment. It opens the way for greater supply. What I release returns multiplied. Can you feel the difference? One reaction creates contraction. The other reaction creates expansion. The first keeps you in scarcity. The second commands overflow. Try it now. Think of a bill you recently paid or one you know is coming. Close your eyes and picture yourself writing that check, swiping that card, clicking that payment button. But this time, instead of fear, you speak. This is not loss. This is circulation. This seed returns multiplied. Do you feel the shift? That shift is the invisible power at work. If you practice this daily in 2025, your entire relationship with money will transform. Bills will no longer feel like chains. Purchases will no longer feel like loss. Every transaction will become a spiritual practice of multiplication. Now let's talk about giving. One of the greatest secrets of wealth is that giving is not subtraction, it is multiplication in disguise. When you give from fear, you block the return. But when you give from joy, you activate the law of circulation in its highest form. Geneviève Behrend often reminded her students that you cannot outgive the universe. Whatever you release in faith returns to you, often from unexpected directions, often multiplied beyond measure. So here's your practice. In 2025, whenever you give, whether it's to a friend, a cause, a stranger, or even just a tip at a restaurant, don't give silently. Don't give with worry. Give with declaration. Say, this gift is blessed. It returns to me multiplied. I circulate joy, and joy circulates back to me. Do this consistently, and you will watch miracles unfold. Unexpected gifts, opportunities, refunds, promotions, they will begin to arrive because the law cannot fail. You cannot sow abundance and reap lack. You cannot circulate joy and receive despair. What you release is what you receive. And let's not forget praise. Praise is the accelerator of circulation. When you praise money, when you thank it for what it allows you to do, you magnetize more of it. Think about this. Most people complain about money constantly. They curse it, they resent it, they call it the root of all evil, and then they wonder why it avoids them. Would you stay in a house where you were constantly insulted? Neither would money. But when you praise money, when you say, I am so grateful for this supply, I bless every dollar that flows through me, you become magnetic to it. Try it right now. Say aloud, I praise my money. I bless my money. I am grateful for every dollar that flows through my hands because it always returns multiplied. Doesn't that feel lighter? That's the vibration of praise. That's the invisible power aligning with you. Let me tell you a story. A woman once learned this principle and decided to try it with her smallest daily purchases. Every time she bought a cup of coffee, she silently said, I bless this money, it returns multiplied. Every time she paid for groceries, she said, this is not loss, this is circulation. Within months, her income began to rise. She received unexpected checks, promotions, and even gifts from people she had helped years earlier. Nothing in her outer world explained it, but the inner shift, the invisible power, changed everything. This is the level of mastery you must bring into 2025. Don't just practice in the morning and evening. Practice all day. Every bill, every purchase, every gift, every moment of circulation. Bless it, praise it, declare it, and watch how quickly the universe responds. So let's anchor this with affirmations. Repeat with me. Every dollar I spend returns multiplied. Money flows in endless circulation through me. I bless my bills, my purchases, my giving, and my receiving. I praise my money, and it praises me by multiplying. I live in overflow because I circulate with joy. Say these often. Say them until they become automatic, because when they become automatic, your subconscious accepts them. And once accepted, the law expresses them. Now imagine this. It's August 2025. You're paying your bills, but something is different. You feel no fear. You feel joy. You smile as you release the money because you know it's coming back multiplied. You even give extra where you once hesitated. And suddenly, new income arrives. A bonus at work, a client referral, an unexpected opportunity. You laugh because you realize the law of circulation has been activated. That's the life you're stepping into. But there's more. Every action in 2025 can become an activation of invisible power, not just spending or giving, but speaking, praising, and even thinking. Every time you choose joy over fear, you multiply. Every time you bless instead of complain, you multiply. Every time you align with the truth of abundance, you multiply. This is the formula. Not luck, not chance, not hustle. Alignment, circulation, praise, declaration. That is the invisible power in action. And once you commit to it, 2025 cannot help but unfold as your best year yet. So here we are, standing at the threshold of a brand new year. And the question before you is simple. Will you drift through 2025 repeating the same patterns, or will you rise and shape it with invisible power? You already know the answer. You've heard the truth tonight. The year doesn't create you, you create the year. And the tool is not effort, not chance, not luck, but vision, word, and alignment. Let's bring everything together. First, you learn that your mental picture is the mold of your reality. Whatever you hold faithfully in your imagination, the law must fill. That is why you pictured December 31st, 2025. Your debts dissolved, your accounts full, your spirit at peace. That picture is not fantasy, it is prophecy. Second, you discovered that your word seals the vision. Without speaking, the picture remains a shadow. But when you declare with faith, I am supplied, I am free, I am wealthy now, the picture receives substance. The word is the builder. Third, you confronted the truth that fear is imagination misused. Fear is nothing but a picture of lack rehearsed. And you learned the law of substitution, that every fearful thought can and must be replaced with your December picture of abundance. That single practice makes you master of your year. Fourth, you stepped into the law of circulation and praise. You learned that spending is not loss, it is multiplication. That giving is not subtraction, it is increase in disguise. That every dollar, every bill, every purchase carries the vibration you assign it. And that when you bless and praise your money, it returns multiplied. And now, in this moment, you stand with all the tools you need to make 2025 the best year of your life. Let's seal it with a guided visualization. Close your eyes if you can. Take a deep breath. Imagine it is January 1st. The year stretches before you like an open canvas, and in your hands you hold the brush. You paint the picture, you decide the colors, you decide the form. Now see December again, but this time see the months between. See yourself in March, calm and confident, paying bills with joy. See yourself in June, smiling as unexpected income arrives. See yourself in September, giving freely to someone in need, knowing it will return multiplied. See yourself in November, walking into an opportunity you once thought impossible, but which appeared because of your alignment. And finally, see December. You are free, you are wealthy, you are peaceful, you are grateful. Smile, breathe it in, this is your year. Now let us anchor it with affirmations. Speak them aloud with me. I picture abundance and the law fulfills it. I speak supply and supply responds. Fear dissolves, I choose vision. Every dollar I spend returns multiplied. I bless my money and it blesses me. 2025 is my year of overflow. I am the architect of my wealth. I am wealth in motion. Repeat these daily. Repeat them until they no longer feel like affirmations, but like facts. Because once your subconscious accepts them, they are facts. And the law, which never fails, must express them. Now, I want you to imagine this one last thing. Tomorrow morning you wake, but instead of checking your phone, instead of worrying about yesterday's problems, you close your eyes for just 2 minutes. You picture December 2025. You feel the joy. You speak your decree, and then you step into your day carrying that vibration. That single habit, 2 minutes of vision and decree, will do more for your year than all the hustle and resolutions combined. Because law responds to alignment, not effort. And here's the most beautiful part. You are not alone. As you practice this, you become part of a growing circle of souls who are learning to command abundance by law, who are refusing to live in fear, who are stepping into wealth consciousness together. Every like, every comment, every share expands this circle. Every voice adds strength. Every aligned vision magnifies the collective field of abundance. If you've walked with me from the very first moment, through every declaration, every blessing spoken over your money, and every vision of its joyful return, then you already know the truth. Spending is not loss, it is multiplication. Write in the comments, money returns multiplied, because I want to honor those who stayed until the very end, who didn't just listen passively, but who allowed this law to reshape their entire relationship with money. The connection we've built across these minutes tells me that your simple act of liking this video is more than support. It's circulation. It's you releasing energy that allows this teaching to flow toward another soul who is ready, just as you were, to step into prosperity. And if you felt the shift, if something in you whispered, "This is how I will live from now on," then subscribe. Not casually, not as entertainment, but as your covenant with abundance. A conscious choice to continue speaking over your money, commanding its return, and multiplying supply day after day, video after video. 2025 is waiting. The only question left is, will you drift or will you command? The law is listening, speak, and it is done.